Okay, so let's take a look. So class, basically see where are we today. Okay, class, we are still in the 6th parami. Basically for 6th parami, we have finished the dharma giving parami, precept parami. Okay, then the patience parami. Okay, and then is the diligence parami. Now we are in the samadhi parami. Okay, so samadhi parami, and lastly will be the prajna parami. Let's take a look to the samadhi parami. So we stop here, the verse 149. Let's take a look to the previous verse. So in the previous verse is a 148. It's about the laziness, the barrier to concentration can be counteracted with the faith, diligence, aspiration, and tranquility. So let's take a look. So this is all are the 5 hindrances. You see, take a look. All are 5 hindrances, but in the different terminologies. Let's take a look with a different terminology. So it says, you see, okay, the 5 first to be eliminated should be laziness, forgetting the holy words, stopper and restlessness, inaction and action. So for laziness, we have to use the faith, diligence, aspiration, and tranquility to tackle it. Then mindfulness to tackle the forgetting the holy words. Right knowledge to tackle the stopper and restlessness. Thinking to tackle the inaction. Equanimity to tackle the action. So the 8 cutting action that can counteract the 4. Well, basically, remember the terminology is, we feel not familiar because this is from the Mahayana text. Okay, it's quite a little bit different from the text from we know from. From the original Buddhism and the schism Buddhism. Schism Buddhism. Okay, Mr. Leong, which is a good word lah. Schism Buddhism or school of thought of Buddhism, which one is better words? School of thought better lah. Okay, all right. So let's take a look. Okay, and now in previous lessons, so we finished about we know that we say diligence is based on aspiration, practice with joy and not feel tired. But this determination must come from faith. Now let's take a look. Okay. Faith in concentration requires one to believe that the light, bliss, and the physical and the mental sharpness that arise from concentration will enable one's body and mind to reach a new state. See or not? Now, 149 is about the right mindfulness. Okay, Sally, can you please read it first?
Right mindfulness of the object to which one has become accustomed can keep the mind from being scattered. Remembering clearly by not losing mindfulness. The object of focus abides calmly and is revealed clearly. Practicing cessation primarily means having the mind focused on a single object. The power that binds the mind to an object is right mindfulness. Right mindfulness is like a rope that binds the mind to its object so that it does not become scattered. Here, the object of mindfulness is an object to which one has become accustomed. That is, an object of focus with which one has been practicing. For example, in practicing mindfulness of the Buddha, one has to first observe and investigate the appearance of the Buddha. During practice, one recalls the appearance of the Buddha. It arises in one's mind. Those who are practicing the mindfulness of impurity observe the unseen appearance of bushes, past, and decay. Concentration can be achieved only by practicing mindfulness. It cannot be achieved through one's imagination. Having right mindfulness, one can counteract the fault of forgetting the holy words, the dharma as taught by the sages. If one is constantly mindful of the holy words as one's object of focus, one can keep the mind from being scattered and have it gradually settled. When sentient beings are alert, their minds are scattered. When their minds quiet down, they become stuporous and fall asleep. When stuporous and unclear, the mind is powerless. When the mind is clear but scattered, it's like a candle in the wind, wavering, unstable. this too is not very useful. The primary object of practicing cessation and achieving concentration is to strengthen the power of the mind so that it can do great things that ordinary people cannot do. So one has to cultivate one's mind, making it both clear and settled. This is accomplished by practicing right mindfulness assisted by right knowledge, which enables the mind to remember its object of focus. The loss of mindfulness obstructs right mindfulness and causes the mind to forget the object of focus.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's take a look. Mr. Leung, you can thumb up by Zoom once you finish highlight. You off the camera, I don't see you. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. One question, it seems that, Mr. Leung, it seems is cessation commonly used in Theravada to replace the concentration? The cessation, is this what on the mic, please? Cessation, it is a good word.
Yes, it's commonly used
In Theravada also. In Theravada also?
Yes, correct.
Oh, correct. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So class, basically here is talk about the mindfulness. I think once we mention the mindfulness, it's about the same of what we learn in the three vehicle. So mindfulness basically is we are not forgetting our object. Okay. So we need to say the breath in and out, we know very well all the time. So that we call it as a mindfulness. So mindfulness is necessary to do all meditation method. For example, if you try to recall the recollection of the Buddha, a class are basically a recollection of the virtue of Buddha, Buddha-nusati. I don't know. So we don't really teach. Okay, if possible, you have to learn from the Pa'ao Siador tradition. They are quite expert in this method. Okay, Sally, Mr. Leong, okay, one is they are very expert in this. Second, regards the asubha, the concentration on the impurity of the body, they are quite expert also. So Mr. Leong, Sally, you can go through it. But for the fullness contemplations, I think Thailand, they're also quite good. They are quite popular in Thailand. So it depends on their nature. It depends on the Buddhism culture, which method is more common and popular. But the one remember, they say if you remember the sage words, you will be mindful of object. So it's quite. It sounds doesn't make sense. Remember the sage word, then it's a mindfulness. Well, I think that is literally. I think this is literally translated from the Sanskrit. Okay, so in Sanskrit, maybe at that time, it's about, I think it's about the first century to third century. 100th century to the 300th century. At that time, the Buddhism, they are with the Sanskrit with a different interpretation, with the different ways already. It's quite different with the Nikaya and Abhidhamma. So they will use forget the sage words. Okay, anyway, if our mind is always alert, is agitated, or maybe our mind is very sloth and torpid, both are not good. Okay, so the best mindfulness is always mindful to the object. So basically, three of you have achieved a very good mindfulness, so you can meditate well. So to keep on, because once you have mindfulness, then you have a chances to achieve to the samadhi. So without mindfulness, always mindless, you can't achieve to the samadhi. So let's take a look. Okay, I think I about finished all. So we basically we use rupa to describe. Okay, sometimes we say observe and investigate the appearance of the Buddha. Here, observe and investigate, meaning to say that this involves some wisdom. Observe and investigate involve the wisdom. All right. Then okay, so we mentioned all this already. Okay. So now we go to the next paragraph. Maybe Mr. Leung will try to read by off the camera, maybe when practicing, please.
When practicing, if one relies on the practice of right mindfulness and one's mind can settle on the object of focus and not be scattered, then one should let it continue to settle. But to settle and clear the mind, right knowledge is necessary. Right knowledge constantly looks after the mind so that one knows for certain that it is settled on the object of focus. For example, those being mindful of the Buddha must not only stay with the appearance of the Buddha, they must also perceive this appearance clearly. That is, the Buddha's appearance should gradually be revealed with clarity. Such calm, abiding, and clear revelation, clarity, and stillness are important aspects of the process of practicing cessation. So one should not think that merely being attentive to one object is enough. For in doing this, one may become stuporous and fall into a state of not remembering. Some people think that if they practice both not clinging to appearances and being devoid of differentiation, then without ever holding the mind on one object, they will still be able to practice and have a realization. They are, of course, somewhat mistaken. Even if they do not cling to appearances or differentiate, they will still need to understand this practice and rely on it attentively. It is not keeping the mind in focus. If they do not think of anything, which is impossible for beginners, as if they were invisible spirits without any place to land, which will come of it. For example, Chinese Chan or Zen practitioners raise such questions as, who is mindful of the Buddha? And who is towing the dead body? Such questions are able to stir up feelings of doubt, which is slightly different from the method described above. Nonetheless, while this method can bring order to the mind and eradicate boundless, erroneous thoughts, should this method not also be considered a practice of binding the mind to one thing?
Okay, thank you so much.
Verse. Welcome.
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 Sally, can I proceed? Okay, yes. Okay, class, take a look. Okay, class, okay, basically, here we still talk about the right concentration. You need to say that one day is the right concentration. it seems like a one-to-one class. I should charge Sally expensively if it is a personal tuition class. Okay, well, class, once we talk about the concentration, so here there's one perception that if let's say, because now, hey, class, we are in a great vehicle now. In great vehicle, they involve the method of contemplation of the Buddha statue. For example, okay, this is a Buddha statue, you see, okay. So according to the text, even though, I mean, the picture appeared in your mind, but if let's say the picture is not very clear, they will be fine. Okay, but later on, you have to gradually make all the details clear if you contemplate the Buddha. But if let's say, once the Buddha appeared, you don't go to further, I mean, make it clearer, then you will doze off, you will getting sleeping. That's what the text mentioned here. But here, the center, it sounds also quite awkward. It said, what they need the right knowledge so that you'll be very attentive. Well, it is right knowledge, you see, it's just like an ignoble path. In the beginning, you must have a right knowledge. All right. By having the right knowledge, meaning to say that when you observe, okay, the object, then you'll be always mindful. Mindful at the same time, if let's say you, even though you get some joy, but if you just don't go further progress, you will fall to sleep. That's the mention here. Let's take a look, see whether you read the same thing or not. You see, not right knowledge is necessary. You say, for example, you are mindful to the Buddha, you see, must not only stay with the appearance only. You have to perceive this appearance clearly, you see or not. So meaning to say that it is not enough the Buddha appear only. You have to make it very clear also. You have to make it very clear also. Then let's take a look, you see. So you see, it should be gradually revealed with the clarity. Clarity and the stillness, that should be the right thing. If you don't do, if you are just attentive only, then later on you'll fall asleep and stop rest. I think, Sally, it happens to you before, Sally. Sometimes you do the meditation. I think, one, you feel the object is good, maybe you feel the joy, then you start to fall asleep, right? I noticed that sometimes it happened to you. So it happened to you, meaning to say that your mind is getting down. So you have tried to stand up and adjust your concentration to the upper part of the body so the blood can flow up. By changing some physical, then your mental will change. Okay. If you don't do any change, so just keep on sleeping until ding. Okay. So from the samadhi, actually, it is from the sleeping. Yeah, but still any question, please.
Yes, if I want to ask regarding this right knowledge, is it related to right view and right understanding with clear comprehension?
Yeah, and I think here is a right knowledge. Let me see first. I think here is like a right understanding, right view in Eight Noble Path. You can say so, because Mr. Leong, here I think if you want to further interpret, or I mean concrete, good example is quite difficult. I remember even though in the Mandarin, because now we're in the Great Vehicle, so they use right knowledge. It seems not easy for me to really quote an example. Okay, so Mr. Leong, so please just bracket the word. I will put it like a right view in Eight Noble Path, right knowledge, quite same, right? Right knowledge, like a right view, something like that. Okay.
Well, in this case, let's example this right knowledge in Chinese word. How you say interpret it in Mandarin?
Also like that, it's not very clear because this is not. How should I put it? Not very clear. Also, he just said, right knowledge. That's all. And then once you meditate, make sure that not attentive only. You have to be very with the clarity of mind. So not much. Not much further elaboration. Okay. So let's take a look. You see, okay, some people think that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. If the practice both the clinging to appearance and being devoid of differentiation. So class, what does that mean? Class, basically in our Chinese Buddhism, we have the misunderstanding sometimes since Chinese Buddhism, people that they learn the Mahayana, I mean, especially the Prajna, without the Nikaya and also the Abhidhamma base, sometimes the definition is not very strict. So some confused. Some may thought that if you just don't think anything, that is the concentration. Some may think so, you know. They thought like if I think nothing, it's just like the wisdom. I mean, it's the higher grade of the wisdom, because you see, if the higher grade of wisdom in the emptiness, it seems indifferent with anything, right? It doesn't different much things. Everything is equal, right? We always hear people say that, oh, you shouldn't differentiate. You should be treat everything equally. Actually, once you reach to the emptiness in a quite high level, that's true. You will be indifferent. You won't difference anything. But now the point is, we are still in the very beginning. If you begin without differencing the thing, then I think then the author claimed that you might be wrong meditating already. You see, even though in the China Zen, how they do, they will come up one sentence, they say, who are chanting Buddha? So, but this is not keep on chanting who are chanting Buddha, because by asking yourself who are chanting the Buddha, so you raise the doubt. So you have to keep on maintaining the doubts. When the doubts are keep on set until to the saturated level, then boom, you will be getting enlightened. That is their way, you know. You heard about this is the Chinese Zen. No, do you hear about the method is developed by Chinese monks themselves in China. Now it's popular also in Korean and Japan. They call it as a China Zen. So meaning to say that they don't really chant the Amitabha, but they try to ask who chant the Buddha. By asking, there will be some doubt arise, so they will make the doubt getting bigger and bigger. See, I haven't tried the method yet, and I also don't know, but theoretically I can explain a little bit. So next time, maybe we can have a try. This method is very dependent on the teacher. So sometimes teacher, in order to make you enlightened, maybe they will throw the thing on you, maybe they will beat you with the rotan. Yeah. Because once they notice that you are about to get enlightened now, so they will do much thing to torture you. But you have to understand, you have to 100% trust your teacher. So your mind always once your mind is in a very high saturated doubt, so you're waiting people to make it have a breakthrough for you. Heard about? Yeah, you learn about that okay. So I don't know if for banana it is quite difficult for you to learn or not. Maybe you can try one day It is quite different with the Theravada meditation method. Quite different. Well, I will claim that the method is quite effective because class, if you go to the Guangzhou, you are still able to see a Liu Zhu Hui. No. You see, let's take a look. This is the 6th Patria in Guangzhou. Class, take a look. The 6th Patria of the Zen have already passed away for 1,600 years, but he still maintained, and he is still able to keep his body until now. I've been there for twice and meditate in front of him. Very energetic. Must be the real one. Very energetic. They will help us to upgrade our meditation. So I mean, even though the method is created by the Chinese monk themselves, the Chinese Patria, but this is effective. Of course, we can use 8 noble path, 4 noble truth to explain their enlightenment. They explain their enlightenment with the Lankavatara Sutra or with the Gong King, Diamond Sutra. They use the Diamond Sutra to describe their situation. So it's a different thing. You can't say, oh, it doesn't fit Nikaya, so it is wrong. We can't say so. Because why? They are able to keep their body until now. And you know, this we call it undecayable body. You can find in the Jiuhua San. Jiuhua San is in the Anhui, you know. You can get, it's totally more than 1,000, you know, you can find from them, you know. Each one, if they are not the junior one, you can't feel energy if you just stand in front of them. If they are the real one, they use the energy and psychic to keep their body, you just close to them, you immediately know already, oh, this is the real genius one. Because they keep on emitting the energy. Once we meditate, we can feel the upgrade of our meditation. So class, if after the MCO possible, the money worth for spending for this. Just go to meditate in front of them and then set them as our example. Hopefully one day we pass away. We hope we can just go like them. We can keep our body so we become example to the future Buddhists. So they come and say, oh, you can keep your body. Meaning to say you are telling them the truth, not from the Buddha words, not from the words, but from the performance. So I think three of you are considered quite. You are quite. You can achieve quite well in meditation. Please aim for it. Please have a high vow, ambition, and to it. Just to help the future Buddhists. So set an example for them. Become the exemplary for them. Yes, Mr. Leung, got question? Yes. Yes.
Sifu, regarding that what called certain enlightenment, this is called spontaneous enlightenment, isn't it?
Yes. Because enlightenment, even though in Four Noble Truths, there will be gradual enlightenment. They also got some spontaneous enlightenment. Yes, for Zen, they are more emphasized on spontaneous enlightenment. But the point is, if without the gradual enlightenment in the past life, how will you spontaneously enlighten within this life? Is it correct? It must be related. Meaning to say that the spontaneous enlightenment is a ready state, which is accumulated from the gradual preparation.
And then the time is right for it to be spontaneously enlightened.
Yeah, if let's say we cannot enlighten spontaneously, meaning to say that we are not ready yet. We have to prepare gradually. So meaning to say that both are closely related. It's not necessary to mutually criticize because one is outcome, one is the origin, one is the cause. So we need both for the Buddhist. Do you get it? So I think this one 6 Patria. I think they're ready for past many lives already, because he is able to enlighten from one sentence from the Diamond Sutra. Let me try to translate to you literally, see whether I understand. It say, once according to the sentence, I translate in this way. If you are able to detach, if you are able to detach, then the real detachment will arise, and the mind of the real detachment will arise. Can you understand? No problem, right? If you can detach, then the mind of enlightenment will arise, you see. So we need to say that in the beginning, you have to let go everything first. You have to fully detach. Once you fully detach, then your Buddha nature will appear. So Liu Zhu, 6 Patria, by listening to this sentence, then he spontaneously enlightened. Just one sentence. No need for jhana, no need vipassana. So that's a spontaneous enlightenment. So some Theravada, they will not understand how come Chinese monk they can be like that. But I think we don't use words. You just go and meditate in front of him. I think if you are Theravada, you can meditate very well. You can feel energy. Quite sure all your chakra will open. Then you will know that, oh, this is the real one. Because sometimes the words the sentence or the language cannot describe all these things. You just go and meditate. You know, oh, I think they're the junior one. I think it happens to the Tibetan monk also. We have to see. So since we've got experience of meditation, we just try experiment. We just meditate in front of them. You remember? We experiment before, meditate in front one by one. Then the energy will exchange and flow. Then you know already. If they're not the junior one, it will happen one. You cannot fake one. Okay. Yeah, Sally, any question?
I think the word is genuine, isn't it?
What?
The word is genuine.
Yeah. Genuine. It's not genuine. Genuine.
Genuine.
The real one. The real one. Genuine.
Genuine.
Thank you so much. Okay. So class, yeah, Mr. Long, yes, again.
Sifu, regarding just now you say about the question thrown by the master to the disciples, is it called koan, especially in Korean?
Call what lah? Again.
Is it koan?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, same. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gong'an mean what? The koan meaning to say that they will try to use one cases. Gong'an actually is a case. It's a cases which happened many years ago. So they will use it as a meditation object. That is we call it Gong'an. So in English it translates with Koan. Koan meaning to say it's a case happened many years ago. So they contemplate the case. Here they contemplate the sentence. Okay, who chanting Buddha name? So this is the sentence. Who towel the corpse? Or by using sentences. Both are different, but the similarity is they are created by Chinese. It's a local meditation method, not the. It's a different with the Nikaya and also Abhidhamma. Okay. So class get it? Okay, so it's good, you know. So after MCO, okay, I think it's good. It's not wasting money if you go to meditate in front of them. Not wasting money. It's very good. It's worth for her to go. Okay.
Waiting for the time only, as before.
Waiting for the time. Hopefully,
I remember we planned already, but couldn't go only.
Waiting for the time, and hopefully Asia will not bankrupt. Yeah, I think Asia also risks for bankruptcy. You see, many uncertain. So let me see, the Chinese Zen. Okay, class. I think okay, class.